Welcome to part 4 of the Dragon and Rabbit series. Start out by making sure the blade is nice and level. Not level, square. I got a bunch of this old cedar from a gazebo that was being taken down, and since then I've made a whole lot of projects out of it. It's really beautiful cedar. So I'll start just by ripping off the paint and getting the edges square, and then we're going to flip it end over end. Make sure to wear your respirator and eye protection when you're using power tools. The first time that I started resawing this wood, I didn't own a respirator and I was super sick the next day. Okay, then we're going to run it through the planer just to clean up that cut edge. I don't really care about the other side, still got paint on it. That's going to be the back of the frames anyway. We're not going to see that. Just one quick pass to the planer is enough to clean that up, get a nice smooth finish on it, and we can start to see that wonderful grain pattern coming through. I really like old rustic wood full of knots and cracks and different deformities. Makes the wood a little bit more interesting, I think. So this is a really rough crosscut sled that I built out of some scraps that I had. I'm planning on building a much bigger and more stable one in the future. The 2x4s are screwed on at a perfect 90-degree angle, so you cut each side of the miter on either side of the sled, and it makes a really nice fit up. You just always make sure to cut the long board on one side and the short board on the other side. Now that we have the pieces all cut, we're going to add a little bit of a profile to these pieces. Place the fence and set the blade at an angle. I didn't know what kind of angle I wanted, so I was kind of going between 10 and 15 degrees, seeing what I like best. Set it on 15 degrees, and then we're going to run a test piece through to see what that looks like. Corey, can you stop screaming, please? Checking to see how that looks, and then we're going to flip that over, do it to both sides. Just a real simple bevel profile. And that looks good, so we're going to run the rest of them through. Alright, now it's time for assembly. Get my glue and my nail gun all set up. It's always good to have a chemical and a mechanical bond when you're putting things together. Just put a couple nails to the side there. Make sure your fingers are out of the way from where you're nailing, just in case the nail decides to pop through the wood. I always like to put a couple staples in the corners just to shore those up a little bit, make them a little bit sturdier. And there you go, that's the first one. Let's speed through these other two real quick. And there you go, that's all three of them. A little bit of oil brings the life and the color into the wood. Here's some close-up shots of that grain pattern I was talking about. It's really wonderful to see after you take all that paint off and get them resawn, to see something like that come out of something that most people would throw in the trash. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next week. Don't forget, LSS, like, share, subscribe.